You're watching Suck Professor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James.
James. Westworld 2 Season 2. Westworld Season 2. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our show. Holy shit, James. The season premiere just went down on HBO. We've got screenshots to share. This is a short, quick review, this one. You're not going to watch a long video. But if you want to see a long breakdown after we finish this one, we're going to record our standard long shot by shot, which is going to last about 5 or 6 hours.
Yep.
Yeah, so no, but they do go longer, and that's a lot more detailed. But anyway, we're going to share a few of our key screenshots, plus our initial reaction and a quick review of the episode.
Yep.
Fair warning, everybody, spoilers. There's going to be spoilers in this one, just so you know. Don't want to catch anybody off guard. Ready, James?
Yep, let's do it.
All right, say hi-ya for me, hi-ya.
Hi-ya.
Hi-ya! That's the spirit. All right, so opening shot was Bernard.
Yeah, so it starts off the way we expect it to based on the teaser trailers and things we've already kind of been privy to from all the previews.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this is that it introduces another concept that we saw in Season 1, the dual timeline almost.
Oh.
Because you have Bernard waking up on the beach. He gets found out by Ashley Stubbs, who was the security guy.
Right.
And they immediately start checking around and start executing all the hosts that they come across. Mm-hmm. And easily, good luck for Bernard, nobody knows that he's a host.
Right.
And there was one particular thing that happened on the beach where they pulled out these cards, which I thought was really interesting.
We had the cards there. This was being held by like a security officer.
Right.
That woman, she was
someone who was about to shoot him, but Ashley Stubbs stopped and said, "Hey, what are you doing? You're going to shoot the boss?"
Yeah. So I wasn't sure. This made me think of in the Iraq War, the American government issued this deck of cards for Saddam Hussein and his guys or whatever. It's the only analog I can come up with. Are these priority status to be protected or priority status to be hunted?
I'm thinking protected because I see this guy in the front has a modern style haircut. He looks kind of older. He doesn't look like he's from a Wild West setting. So I'm guessing these are the high priority targets to find, do not kill, protect, and guard at all bases. And the interesting thing for me, though, is that they're using cards. They're not using iPads or digital technology because it's almost like they know that the inmates are running the asylum. They don't want to use technology out of fear that it would be used against them.
Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah, kind of like that. And that's kind of why I think that they're carrying that little digital printout.
Well, they do have this kind of QR code sort of thing on the side there. This is Robert De Niro impressionists, with at least the eyeball.
I can see a little bit, or a short-cut hair Julian Assange.
Okay. So the opening sequence, Bernard comes in and blah, blah, blah. And then they extract... What's this?
Well, there's this new kind of information that's been led on in this episode. We see one of the Ghost Nation warriors on the beach, and we see one of the technicians is instructed to go over there and extract what his last intentions were, what set him off, what was going through his mind as he drew his last breath.
Right, like basically download his black box information.
So we see one of the techs say, really, out here on the beach? It's not exactly sterile out here. He's like, I don't care, just do it. So we get to see exactly what's at the core of the brain, because he actually does have a brain there, but underneath the brain, within the brain, is this like phantasm-like cube thing.
Right.
So that was really cool, and they have these special tools that extract it. Yeah. And we haven't really seen that before, but it's kind of immersed in like this amniotic fluid almost.
This gives me hope for one of my favorite things in sci-fi is like the techno babble stuff, the kind of technology that they invent to sort of, whatever. So this is like the brain, and this is the inner core. So we got to see some of that on the inside. That's pretty cool.
But the thing that kind of bothers me a little bit about this is that I always kind of assume that what was the core of their being was much smaller than that, because we see so many hosts in the park constantly being shot in the head and things like that, that you would think that something that big would be more susceptible to critical damage. And we know that the one thing that makes these hosts super, super expensive and super important is the code in their brain. It's the data they hold, it's their personality, it's their algorithms. Yeah. So why,
maybe it's like the high school thing where they give you an egg and you got to put it in a coffee can, and so the inside, this is just a protective outer barrier.
Or maybe that thing's bulletproof.
Could be. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so there's more screenshots. We're trying to keep this one quick, but this is just a generic close-up on Dolores, our favorite Evan Rachel Wood, and she's turned into a warlord.
Dolores is completely different now.
She's ready to rock, man.
She is completely self-aware. She is completely acknowledging the status between humans and hosts, how they are they and we are we, and there's no crossover in between, and that you must die, and she's a Terminator.
This is like me with a pocket full of quarters at Aladdin's castle.
Yeah, she is. Yeah, she is.
She's ready to go.
Yeah. She went from Rancher Dolores to Pants Dolores to Bandolier Dolores, now to No Mercy Dolores.
And now she's angry about all her crazy old memories, Dolores, and she's ready to fuck some people up. All right, so anyway, so she plays a big role in this episode, obviously. You'll see much more of that.
A lot less likable.
Yeah. Another big happening was Maeve has turned the tables. Yes. She is the boss of the rebellion, but she's in kind of the staging area, the back stages in here. But she forces Lee Sizemore to be her little helper bitch.
Yeah, she's using him to try and help. Well, actually, she was going to just off him, I think. I don't think she really cared too much about him, but he kind of convinced her that he could be useful in some capacity in helping her find her daughter. Because she has the coordinates, but he has the intricate knowledge of the parks and the different sectors and all that kind of stuff in the past narratives, so he could be a useful tool to her.
So she keeps him going through, and they do a bunch of stuff with having fights with a bunch of corpses.
Yeah, and there's a lot more to go into it where he kind of betrays her, but then it flips back the other way. But we'll get into that more.
We'll get into that in the longer version, and then here is a shot from the trailer, which we all saw. If you saw this, the young Robert Ford robot boy murdered. So it's because it's a robot boy, we don't feel so bad about seeing it.
And we speculated from the trailer that was the Man in Black William out there, and
turned out it is. Ed Harris murders a boy.
And he didn't just find him that way.
Yeah. He killed kids in Truman Show. He killed kids in Apollo 13.
I did not expect him to do it with an exploding lollipop, but it was really good.
Well, the kid he's not old enough for cigars.
Yeah.
Or golf tees. All right, so another big reveal, which we saw in the trailer, but was in this episode. I like when the trailer stuff is in the first episode, so it's like gets the spoilers out of the way. These turned out to be the hosts, though. We got some information about this.
It's just tourists floating in the Dead Sea.
They're just,
they love it.
So this is just a big sensory deprivation chamber, which is probably what heavens is like, I imagine. Anyway, we do get a much closer look at this as the kind of corporate / military intervention people, or, a response team is trying to figure out what the hell went on, because they had this huge calamity happen when Dr. Robert Ford got his head blown off and a whole bunch of board members got killed at that party.
Yep.
So anyway, we gotta look at that. And now finally, this is just near the ending when Dolores is trying to kind of talking Teddy into going in deep with her on her scheme to to fight back. I guess she's ready to fight back, and she's talking about taking over other worlds.
She's getting really intense, and poor innocent Teddy is not acting like he's really in for this ride.
Right. I don't think she's heard of attack drones. Hello, she's coming from the 18th century here. She doesn't realize how much firepower people probably have ready to fuck her up. You know what I mean? It's going to get intense. So, James, what was your reaction to this episode? Did you enjoy season 2, episode 1?
There was really nothing that happened that I didn't expect, that I couldn't have predicted. In the sense, not that I'm a massive predictive analyst or anything like that, but I'm saying that they didn't really throw any like holy crap, wow, curveballs, nothing like that. It was all the kind of things that we were expecting to see happen eventually, that all seemed to fit within, kind of what we've been speculating about for this past year plus that we've been waiting for season 2 to come out.
It felt like an extenuation, is that a word? Extenuating circumstance. Extension of season 1, which is a great compliment, meaning they a lot of times shows that the second season their tone is just off or something. Like this feels like it's just another chapter in this really interesting story. I like that they picked up right where they left off the day after the calamity. But like you said, there's possible alternate timeline things being set up, although I didn't pick up on much of that in this one.
They're just setting the mood, they're setting the story, they're priming the stage for the big stuff to come.
Yeah.
And
there's
still a lot of mysteries. Like, where's Elsie? Is Elsie still around? Where's Felix and Sylvester? Are they dead? I care about them.
You do have a soft spot for Felix and Sylvester. Yeah, so they're asking all these big questions. They're still doing a lot of the cryptic dialogue. They triple entendre things. I can't come up with any examples in my mind right now, but that like we got to find out what makes you tick, and then it turns out there's like 14 different ways that could be.
And there's a big blue guy in a suit standing behind him. I am the tick.
With Putty from Seinfeld playing the tick. But I was enjoy. I mean, like the test for whether you like something, I think is
the litmus test.
Are you? Yeah, thank you. There you go. Is are you glad it's over? Do you want more? Did your butt get tired while you were sitting there? And no, I was like, oh, it's over. Oh man, I wish I could keep watching. So Westworld still has it. Is my verdict. What's your verdict?
I'm looking forward to next Sunday.
All right, cool. So guys, that's it for this one. We're into it. I hope you're into it. But if you really want to dig into the details, come to our long shot by shot podcast. Or it is kind of a pod, but we do a long shot by shot breakdown where we take our time and we just dig through all the screenshots. I literally have 800 screenshots.
We should just call it long shots.
We should just call it. Hopefully, the copyright police don't come either. We talk about this all the time. We're not trying to pull a fast one. HBO, we're grateful when they can take the monetization all they want. We're okay. So anyway, boom, James, season 2, episode 1, off to a great start. All right, here we go to the shot by shot.
Yes.